Hi, I'm Shawn. Today I'm going to show you how to paint a picture of a lake from a photograph. The photograph is kind of blurry, but you can see that it is a picture of a lake and a little man in a boat. I'm using a 17 by 12 stretched canvas. I'll be needing various sizes of brushes. I've got some brushes of various sizes here. Some acrylic paint. I've got several colors of blue. Some brown. A little bit of yellow. We'll need some black and some white as well. I'm going to put just a little bit of each color on my palette, which is just a piece of plastic from a takeout container. A bit of yellow. Some blues. When my palette is ready, it has a little bit of paint on each color. Also, I have always, when I paint, a paper towel and an extra piece of paper just to try my strokes on. I measured the distance that this first color change starts on this picture, on the photograph, and then I translated that to the canvas. So as you see, I've got some small lines on the canvas to mark where I will be painting. I'm going to start with a large brush and put some of the lighter blue on it. I want to start with the lightest color and wash almost the entire painting with this light blue. So I'm here up at the sky. I'm just going to start some strokes across. Add water as I'm making this a very light color. I'm going right over my line, which I can still see for the mountains. Right over the top of it. The only place I am not going to paint right now with light blue is the area that is going to be sort of a brownish tan color. Right on down into the water and mixing my paint, get a little darker color, and skip the area that's going to be brown, go right on down. I'm adding more water to the brush to make it spread more easily, and on this kind of canvas, don't forget to go around the edge with the color as well. Now I'm going to let that dry, or use a hair dryer to dry it. So I've got a little lighter paint up here than down here. I've left the section in the middle where the brown will go, kind of just left it out. And next I'll go in with the color for the mountains after this dries. Next, I'm looking at the lines in my mountains, and I'm going to use 3 different colors of blue. I'll be using my medium-sized brush, and starting with the lightest color. with a little darker color. I'm going to put that in front of this color on the mountain. That appears in front. Whenever I can't get the paint to spread out nicely, I add a little more water. Some of the texture of the canvas is coming in, and you can see that texture. If you want, you can wait and let that dry and paint over it so you have a more solid color. I'm going to clean my brush real good and start with the add a little texture to the water. As you can see in the original, the ripples show a little bit in the water. So to add those ripples, some of them are lighter than the background and some of them are darker. So I'm going to add a little bit of the dark ones first. Sure the brush is clean. And then I'm adding some of these little mottled ripple marks in the water. As I get towards the background, a little closer to the a little farther away, I may want to use a smaller brush. Medium-sized brush, I'm going to mix that yellowish tan color that the landscape forms. So I've taken a brown and some yellow and I'm mixing it together. It looks like it might need a little white to match that color in the background, and I want enough of it that I can swipe across there. It's not totally flat color, it has a little texture, so if some of it's a little darker, that's just fine. So now in the area where the landscape is supposed to start, I will start painting this color across. And as I get right close to the shore, it seems that the landscape gets just a little bit darker. And the side of the canvas so that I don't forget to go all the way around the edge. Darker towards the shoreline. Now I have lost the pencil of the boat in the water, so I'm going to need to wait for this to dry and redraw the shape of the boat and trying to get a good outline of that shape. I practiced on a piece of paper, and I'm going to now draw that same shape where I want the boat to appear on the water. Now, the boat that in the actual photograph is right up against the shoreline, but I think I'm going to move the boat down just a little bit. So I'll draw that in. With pencil because it can be erased. The boat is red. The boat is red, so I'm going to use just a little bit of red. And the man is sort of a dark brown. Here's where I need my little tiny brush. I use a little tiny brush for this. While the paint is wet, I can still wipe it off if I make a mistake. So I've painted the boat on the water, and now I'm going to add just a little bit of brown for the man. Dark brown, still using a very small brush. Brown. Black is kind of dark brown. Noticed in the photograph that there's a little shadow on the boat, on the water, under the water. So I'm going to add a little bit of dark with my very fine brush, wipe it off on the, wash it and wipe it. very dark right under the boat to give it dimension. This painting could be finished at this time, but I think I'm going to carefully analyze the shape of the ripples in the water. I may want to enhance the variation between the landscape and the mountains, and I may want to make that background mountain a little more solid. I'm also going to add a few clouds, so I'll add the clouds now. I'm going to use this wispy brush for clouds. White and blue and there's some very some clouds. As often happens, you leave your painting and come back and look at it later, and I'm comparing it to the original photograph, and there's a mist in the original photograph that's missing in my painting. So I'm going to mix some clear drying Mod Podge or acrylic gel medium, matte rather than shiny, about 5 parts to 1 with some white paint, and test the mixture first to be sure that it isn't too white and it's just going to paint everything white. I tested mine on a corner and it seemed to be just a little bit too light. So I've added some more Mod Podge, and I'll use lots of water, a large brush, to add this mist across the entire painting. Big strokes. starts out, it's not white enough. I can always do this again. I'm applying several coats cautiously and have decided to, with some of my last strokes, to give this a little bit of swirl. So my atmosphere over the top may have a little wind to it. So mixed with white and clear each time I dry with blow dryer, and see what the area is and add a little more white if necessary. So now the finished piece has a little bit of mist over it, and some of that mist is in sweeps. I also noticed that in the original photograph there was a slight white line on the top of the boat. So while I had the white paint out, I added that. So with the swirls and the atmosphere, the